The Queen lost a daughter years ago. And a human just brought her home. HFY Sci-Fi story. The alarms of the star frigate Astra Peregrine pulsed a dull red glow through the dim corridors as Captain Elias Rowan stood at the viewport, watching the swirl of the Maelstrom Nebula dance like a cosmic storm outside. It was beautiful, dangerous, deadly, and absolutely not on the route he had planned to take. But fate rarely asked permission. "Captain," said Kira, his ship's AI, her tone unusually subdued. "You should see this." Elias turned. A shimmering hologram blinked into existence. A distress beacon. Not just any beacon. Royal frequency. And worse, Alvari royal frequency. Elias rubbed the back of his neck. Humans didn't exactly have warm relations with the Alvari Dominion. "You're sure this isn't some trap?" "The encryption is authentic." Kira paused. "Captain, it's centuries old." That snapped him to attention. Centuries. Yes. And it's coming from inside the nebula. A long, slow breath escaped him. "All right. Prep the shuttle." Because even if it was a trap, even if he was flying straight into a cosmic storm that shredded ships like paper, there was no universe in which a lost child's beacon went unanswered. Not on his watch. Beginning. The forgotten signal. The nebula swallowed his shuttle like a beast taking prey. Colors flashed like lightning through liquid clouds. Violet, emerald, incandescent turquoise. Electromagnetic turbulence rattled the hull. Kira guided him through the worst of it until the shuttle broke through into a strange pocket of calm. Suspended like a relic in the void was an ancient, vine-wrapped vessel. An Alvari bioship, its once-living hull petrified and cracked from time. Lights flickered weakly along its spine. Elias drifted in closer, suit sealed, adrenaline spiking. He docked manually, the magnetic locks clamping with a thunk. The interior was cold, dead and silent, like a tomb. But something was alive. Something faint. A soft cry broke the stillness. Elias froze. "That's not possible." The cry echoed again, small, frightened, unmistakably a child. He followed the sound through winding corridors overtaken by crystalline growths. Finally, in the heart of the ship, he found a stasis pod bathed in pale blue light. Inside floated a girl. Alvari. But not quite. Her hair was silver white, typical of Alvari nobility, but her ears were shorter, her cheekbones less sharply defined. Half Alvari. Half something else. Half human. Elias pressed a palm against the pod. The girl's eyes fluttered open, luminescent violet irises focusing on him. "Mother," she whispered weakly. Elias swallowed hard. "No, kid. But I'm here to help." The pod hissed open. The girl collapsed into his arms, trembling but alive. She clung to his suit with desperate fingers. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Lyra," she breathed. "Princess Liara." Elias's stomach dropped. Because the Alvari queen, Queen Saralith, had lost a daughter 200 years ago. The tragedy had shaken the empire. But her daughter had been declared dead. And yet, the girl in his arms was alive. Middle, returning the unthinkable. The moment Elias returned to the Astra Peregrine, the AI ran scans. "Her biology is stable," Kira reported. "Stasis preserved her perfectly. She appears approximately 10 years old." "Emotionally?" Elias asked. "Traumatized. But manageable." "Boss. Captain, you realize what this means?" "Yeah." Elias sighed. "We're delivering a miracle to a woman who might start a war just for breathing the wrong way." So he wasn't turning back. He sent a coded transmission to the Alvari capital world of Eloria Prime. A reply came faster than expected. "Bring her at once. The Queen awaits." And so, with a child who clung to him as if he were the last stable point in her world, Elias set course across the stars. The capital world. Eloria Prime was a symphony of light, floating citadels, spiraling crystalline spires, bioluminescent gardens that glowed like constellations on the ground. Elias had seen it in holofeeds but never with his own eyes. The moment he landed, a full honor guard surrounded him. Their silver armor gleamed with suspicion. "Captain Elias Rowan," the lead guard said, "you will surrender your weapons and accompany us." Liara buried her face in Elias's side. "It's okay," he murmured. "I'm with you." The guards hesitated at her obvious attachment to him, an unexpected detail. They escorted the pair through winding crystalline halls until massive double doors parted with a melodic hum. Inside was the Queen's throne chamber. Queen Seralith stood at the dais, tall, regal, her silver hair flowing like liquid starlight. Her violet eyes dimmed with grief the moment she saw Liara. Then, disbelief. And a pain so raw Elias felt it from across the room. She descended the steps slowly, trembling. "Liara," her voice cracked. The girl peeked from behind Elias's leg. "You look like my mother," she whispered. Seralitha's breath broke. She knelt on the polished crystal floor. "My child, my heart, my starlight. I thought you gone." Liara stepped forward timidly, then burst into the Queen's arms. The Queen sobbed, openly, uncontrollably, as she held her daughter for the first time in 2 centuries. Elias looked away, giving them privacy. But peace lasted mere seconds. The Queen's expression shuddered. She looked to Elias. "Human. Explain how you found her." And just like that, the warmth vanished. Politics flooded in like poison. Elias told the story: the signal, the derelict ship, the stasis pod. The Queen listened in icy silence until he finished. Then she stood tall again, crown shimmering like a blade. "You have returned my greatest treasure," she said quietly. "For this you will be honored." Elias sensed a but coming. "But you will remain on Eloria Prime, until we determine the truth." "I didn't kidnap her," Elias said, jaw tightening. "No," the Queen replied. "But someone did. And humans have a history with such matters." Fear slithered into Elias's spine. "You think humans stole your daughter?" The Queen's eyes glinted. "Do not pretend ignorance. The humans once warred with us. Your Black Ops units stole genetic material. You experimented with hybrids. That was centuries ago." Elias snapped. "Humanity condemned those actions. And yet my daughter is half human." Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. Elias didn't know what to say. Fortunately, or unfortunately, Liara spoke first. "Mother, he saved me," she said, voice soft. "He is good." The Queen softened, but only slightly. "Your loyalty is admirable," she whispered. "But truth must be found." Uncovering the past. Elias was placed under a dignified form of house arrest, his quarters luxurious but guarded. He spent his days being questioned by Alvari investigators, historians, and scientists. Liara visited him often. She sat with him, sketching stars on glowing paper. "Do you remember anything before the pod?" Elias asked one day. She hesitated. A voice. "Whose?" "A woman. Not mother. Someone else. They must never find you." Elias frowned. "Why?" Liara shook her head. "I don't know." The mystery deepened. Meanwhile, the Queen launched a massive historical investigation. Their findings shocked everyone. A lost classified document revealed the truth. 200 years ago, a rogue Alvari faction had attempted to create a hybrid heir, believing combined DNA from 2 great species would produce an unstoppable future ruler. The Queen had opposed the experiment, violently. Civil conflict erupted. In the chaos, her newborn daughter was stolen and hidden. The rogue scientists had fled into the Maelstrom Nebula. Elias felt sick. "So humans didn't take her?" "No," the Queen admitted reluctantly. "My own people did. And they feared what I would do if I learned the truth." The revelation shook the Empire. And it changed everything. The assassins. Peace was short-lived. During a formal ceremony honoring Elias for returning the princess, the palace was attacked. Shadows slipped through the crystal pillars. 3 assassins adorned in obsidian armor, marked with the sigil of the ancient rogue faction. Their mission was clear: kill the hybrid princess before her existence destabilized the empire. Elias reacted instantly. He tackled Liara behind a column as blaster fire shattered crystal around them. "Kira," he barked into his comm, "lock onto my signal." "Already tracking," the AI replied. "Defensive drones en route." The assassins closed in. Elias drew the ceremonial blade he'd been given, more symbolic than functional but sharp enough. He lunged at the nearest attacker, surprising him. Humans fought differently, unpredictably. Elias used momentum and instinct, disarming one and throwing him into another. But the third assassin raised a plasma spear. A blast of violet light tore through the air. Queen Seralith stood at the balcony, eyes blazing with ancient fury. She unleashed a torrent of energy that ripped through the assassin's armor. No parent, human or Alvari, tolerated a threat to their child. The remaining assassins retreated into shadow. But the palace alarms blared. They had not come alone. "They want me dead," Liara whimpered. "Because I'm different." Elias knelt before her. "No. Because you are important. And people fear what they don't understand." The queen approached, fierce and elegant. She placed a trembling hand on Liara's cheek. "Never again," she vowed. "I failed you once. I will not fail again." She looked at Elias. "And I misjudged you, human. You did not just return my daughter." She paused. "You protected her as if she were your own." Elias swallowed hard. "Any decent person would have. Then the stars are in short supply of decent people." A faint smile touched her lips. "Ending. A new future." In the days that followed, Alvari and human diplomats scrambled to uncover the remnants of the rogue faction. Many were arrested. Many fled. But the galaxy had changed. A hybrid princess, once a secret born of misguided ambition, was now living proof that 2 great civilizations could coexist, and even share blood. Queen Seralith called a grand assembly. Every faction, every species, every rival power gathered in the celestial hall. Elias stood to the side, unfamiliar in his ceremonial robes as the queen addressed the galaxy. "My daughter was stolen by those who feared unity," she began. "But she was returned by one who embodied it." She gestured to Elias. "He risked his life to rescue the child of an empire not his own. This is the strength of humanity. This is why the hybrid will not be hidden but celebrated." The hall erupted in murmurs. Liara stepped onto the dais, small but radiant. "I am Liara Seralith Rowan," she said, voice carrying with unexpected confidence. "Daughter of 2 worlds." Elias nearly choked. "Rowan? Wait, what?" The queen chuckled softly. "She insisted. She says you are family." Elias blinked rapidly, unsure what emotion to feel. He had not expected that. Liara continued, "If we fight together, we all lose. But if we stand together, we all win." The hall fell silent. Then applause, soft at first then growing, swept through the chamber like a rising tide. A private moment. After the assembly, the queen invited Elias to the royal garden, a shimmering expanse of glowing flora. "Human," she said gently, "you have done more for me than I can ever repay." "You don't owe me anything," Elias replied. "But I do." She looked at the stars beyond the crystal dome. "You brought home my heart, my future, my hope." Elias sighed, glancing at Liara playing nearby. "She deserves a chance. She will have one." The queen turned to him. "And so will you." Elias frowned. "Me? You have no family on your world," the queen said quietly. "Your record shows a solitary life. No spouse. No children. Only duty." Elias stiffened. "How did you?" I am a queen, she said simply. Information is my crown. She stepped closer. You have become important to my daughter. She trusts you. But she trusts you. I wish you to remain here. As her guardian. As her teacher. As family. Elias swallowed hard. A life among the stars. A new purpose. A child who looked at him like he was solid ground in a storm. And a queen who regarded him not as a human but as an equal. After a long silence, Elias nodded. I'll stay. The queen smiled, a rare, genuine smile. Then you are welcome in my court, Elias Rowan. Liara ran to him, grabbing his hand with childlike enthusiasm. Come on, she chirped. Mother says I can learn to fly ships one day. You'll teach me, right? Elias laughed. A real warm laugh he hadn't heard from himself in years. Yeah, kid. I'll teach you. Epilogue. The Starbridge Legacy. Years later, histories would call it the Starbridge Alliance. The moment a human captain delivered a lost princess back to her mother, changing the fate of two civilizations forever. Some would say it began with war. Others would say it began with a miracle. But those who knew the truth, the queen, the princess, and the human who became family, knew it began with something far simpler. A cry for help. A man who answered. And a child who bridged two worlds. Elias Rowan looked out over Eloria Prime from the balcony of the palace, Liara beside him, older now, wiser. So, she said softly, what now? Elias smiled. Now we build something better. And beneath the starlit sky, the three of them, queen, princess, and human, began the first chapter of a new future. A future born from loss. Restored by courage. And carried forward by hope.